Unbelievable.
Toast Rider.
You know what? All right, hold on a second. I'll be right back. All right, new flaming order. The man, the myth, the hugging that Alex is hitting you with the head crush, cancel into a pimp smack. Been a long time, long time. A lot's been going on this year, and yeah, I figured it would be some time before I made a return, and what better time to do it than now? So let's get this intro started. Boom, 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 boom. Love my intro, baby. This is brought to you by the new Game of Order, Alex Flexus, and the crew. Yeah, looking like an old man right now. Y'all haven't seen me in a long time. Missed everybody. Let me go back into the room. All right, so
Huh?
I am with my tag team partner in crime because we take what we want after we take Lex Luger and the Giant. Oh, no, I'm not
And I
supposed to.
was just thinking about that too.
Oh.
Wow.
So with that, new game order. The intro is done. I got Mr. Geek-n-out over here. Make sure you check out his channel. I'll put the intermission screen up, and you will see his logo. Yes, sir. You know. So with that being said, let's get into it. So I'm a very miffed and salty individual right now, but in a good way
Mhm.
because Shinmar was able to acquire both next gen consoles. Um,
Huh?
Fierce actually got he's in Canada and he got the One X. He sent me a picture on Facebook. So to
Okay, good.
those of you who are able to acquire it, good for you guys. Those of us who were left out in the cold, despite valiant efforts to get it, I feel your pain. You know, I have to say Shinwar had my back. Project Justice had my back. My cousin, like they were, everybody was literally like trying to do the spirit bomb so I could try to acquire one and do like an unboxing and all that good stuff for the channel. That was kind of be like the launch pad to get things, the momentum back. But that did not happen, and we don't know when they're gonna restock. So it is what it is. But Shinwar and I have been discussing, and I'm making fun of a bad situation. I was just like, I don't think I'm gonna get a Series X and this and that, and I should have been a little more positive. You speak it into existence, and it should be okay. And you know, man, these scalpers are ruining it. But I'm gonna give Shinwar the spotlight. He picked up both systems. We can kind of double this down as a first impressions from his perspective. I don't know. Did you set up your
What?
PS5 yet?
No.
All right. Well, at least we can talk about the Series X. This is why we're doing this show. But Shin, your thoughts on the initial impression of it, and then we'll get into the scalpers. But your thoughts, brother.
Uh. Okay, so for this, well, I haven't, like Alex said, I haven't touched the PS5 yet. Just got it in today, which is supposed to be expected tomorrow. So, as much as I give GameStop flack, they did come through with a day early. So, kudos to GameStops this one time. But
Oh
with the Series
wow.
X, and I'm just playing. For the Series X, it's actually smooth setting up. They recommend you use the Smart app on your smartphone to set it up, and all that does is pretty much just it. Once you pair it, because they give you a code on the screen when you're setting it up, you put it in your phone, and since you're already logged into the phone, it puts the profile right on your Series X from there.
So it pretty much
Um,
copies it like a stamp.
just,
Like
just, just the profile, yeah, just your profile.
uh
And
huh.
I think, yeah, matter of fact, it's your profile in settings because there's a button that says copy settings. So all your settings that you had on your One X is
Mhm.
copied over to your Series X. Once you go through the initial setup of everything, there were YouTube videos and saying that go to transfer network transfer and you long as you have your One X and your Series X on the same home network on your network, it's better to do that as opposed to going
And
to the
re-downloading
download
everything.
from the servers. Yeah, you don't want to. It's going to take a long time.
Let me tell
So
you, me and Shin got a lot of games. There's just doing it the other way is just not an option. It's not an option.
yeah, and
So
and the reason it's recommended is because the bandwidth that you're using to reach out to the servers, for one, the servers are going to get hammered because everybody's getting on at the same time. But if you use your home network's bandwidth, you're going to get a higher bandwidth. So I was moving at what, 600, between 500 and 600 megs. So it's just transferring everything. And so I just let that run for about an hour and a half,
yeah.
and just let it run. Yeah, so
All
that
right.
was it. Pretty cool.
Not bad. Now, considering because it's an SSD in there, I'm pretty sure the write speeds was pretty ridiculous considering. You know.
Yeah, this, what they talked about in the various interviews and YouTube tutorials and videos. Yeah, the Microsoft caught that with the speeds with the SSD. It's good.
Okay, good stuff. Now, that's not gonna be a thing for the PS5 because it's only compatible with the PS4 games. 1, 2, and 3 is not backwards compatible. Am I correct?
There are certain games, PS4, that are compatible, and I believe it's a lot of their first-party AAA titles, that they want to keep pushing forward.
Of
So
course, of
yes,
course.
no, it's not all titles. It's only a select few for right now.
Okay, all right. Well, big shout out to Hannibal for joining the stream. So good stuff, good stuff. So with that being said, in terms of the overall design, it's a little heavier than what folks thought. I mean, it's really small, and Fierce even said to me, "Oh yeah, the system's really small," and I'm like, "Yeah, they packed it real tight, But in terms of the weight, like, how much do you think that thing weighs?
The Series X?
Yeah.
A good, like 15 pounds?
Really? That's a lot.
I would say hold on, because the box, when it came in on the manifest, it said it was 16 pounds.
That's a lot. But with the padding, controller, and all
yeah,
that.
so honestly, this is a good 11, 12 pounds.
That's a lot. But the reason for that, if you saw the teardown videos, that aluminum frame that holds the two circuit boards, that the way that they designed it is to make sure that the heat transfer, like anything that's heating up, like the vapor chamber, and that aluminum frame is supposed to absorb that and then expel it from the system. So I mean, it was design over prettiness, you know what I mean? So yeah, that thing is make sure you've been in the gym or something, so because most gamers, you know what, I'll retract that, because a lot of them, like me and a certain low queer such and such name, that we hit the gym, you know what I mean? So yeah, that it ain't gonna bother us too much. He knows what I'm talking about. I don't want to give no shameless plugs, but with that, I mean, in terms of the controller, I know we already discussed the UI. We don't want to beat a dead horse because other YouTubers have already covered that. It's pretty much what the One X was recently updated to. That's the UI for the Series X. So it's like they pushed the older consoles to have it, so there's continuity. So some people said that's kind of underwhelming, to say the least. But I mean, if you're doing fully backwards compatible setup, then you want the family of systems to have a uniform, UI. But Shinwa, your thoughts on it, because you said it did perform a little smoother when you're, transitioning, right?
In regards to the UI on the Series X?
Yeah, going from the store to.
Oh yeah, it's like instant. I believe, especially with the controller. It's Bluetooth, but I believe they put they did something where it's like literally instant. Like you're just zooming, through everything. So yeah, and the UI is very clean. And it's smooth. The transition is smooth. They got that. My thing is, I just feel like obviously down the road, like maybe 3-4 years, after updates and updates, I think eventually it will slow down a tad, just a tad.
But you know what?
So,
granted, between the PS5 and the Series X, with the power that these things are touting and the SSDs and the CPUs and stuff, I don't see that happening until much later. Much later. We're talking towards the end of the life.
It'll be later.
Yeah. But with that being said, I mean, overall, like, how does the new controller feel? Like, is it any different from...
Yeah, so there's like, I don't want to say padding, but it has like, you could feel the grips on the back.
They got that from the Elite Series too.
Yeah,
that's how that controller is.
Yeah, they have a share button now, like that was seen in all the other, videos. The D-pad is I feel like this D-pad it's really good. It's based off the Elite, because I believe with the Elite you can swap it out, right?
Yeah, you get the dish.
Yeah, it has the dish. So yeah, it's really good. It's really good. And best thing overall, it's USB-C.
Smart, just like the Series Elite Series 2. Good stuff. Now, honestly, Microsoft should have used the Elite Series 2 as the standard controller for the Series X.
Yeah.
I mean, they work together. Whatever controllers you had before are arcade sticks, everything's gonna, move on over with it, which is good. But overall, I'm happy for you, brother. Even though I was making jokes and stuff, I'm just trying to make light of a sad situation. I was sad. I was like really trying to get access to one or both of the systems, and just didn't happen. But at least my brothers got their stuff, so that's the most important.
Let me tell you, this was yesterday. I was like, I woke up, I was up at like 3:30, and I just couldn't sleep. And then I was perusing the interwebs.
Yeah.
And I saw they were like, oh, Walmart is gonna have a stock in, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I ran over to Walmart early when they opened up at like 7. I was like thinking of Alex, and I'm like, you know what? Let's see if I can get him one. I go in there, and the guy's all like, yeah, no, it's an in-store pickup. I mean, you have to purchase online.
Yeah.
And so I'm showing the guy on my phone, I'm like, it's saying you guys have 3 left in stock. There's no button to purchase. Obviously, I didn't know about the whole 12 o'clock that it was going to go live for in-store pre-order pickup. And then pretty much, long story short, I went to another Walmart, same situation. And that's when the lady at the second Walmart was like, yeah, you got to go on the website at 12 o'clock, blah, 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 blah. Me and Alex was on the website at 12 o'clock on the
matter of fact, to add to that, 11:54 to be exact. I had it on queue, and I was refreshing between 2 browsers.
Wow.
Yeah. So let's I continue.
And then to say that there were some Walmarts who did not adhere to that rule, and they just sold them first come first served when you walked into a Walmart. I'm not gonna name the 2 locations, but. People, they walked in and they were buying them, because when you check the website, it said out of stock, when the other store still said in stock. And I read it was on GameFAQs, and they were just like, yeah, I was able to walk into a Walmart and purchase it right there. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Wow. See, that's the issue I was having, because truth be told, the reason why I didn't get one is the same issue that happens with New York ComicCon, and folks jump in the line by using bots or DOSing the websites, and the fact that they even put it out there like that. They're like, oh yeah, you know what, at 12 o'clock such and such on this time, this is going to be available. All those scalpers were like laying in wait, and they were just like, okay, no problem. They ran their scripts, they did their thing. and pretty much ruined the launch for a lot of people. You know what I mean? So with that, I saw some other YouTubers who were talking about, oh, they're like ranting and raving, and I get it. I get it. They're within their rights, and there's no laws to protect things like that because it's a free market. So when somebody buys it, they can do whatever they want to it. You know, and it's nothing Microsoft can do. It's nothing that Walmart can do. But I think that possibly because of COVID affecting a lot, and they didn't want a lot of people at their stores. If that's the case, right? It is hardware. It is hardware. Now I get it. The demand is different, but if you can have somebody walk up into a Walmart and say, "Hey, I want this HD TV or I want this 120 hertz TV," it's right there for you to purchase. But then, like Shinwar was saying, we were on the phone early yesterday. He woke me up. I got dressed. I went to the Walmart before I logged in for work. Right? I go in there and I guess the guy at the Walmart over at the Union location had been telling so many people that, oh, okay. I walked in and Shinwar's on the phone with me, and I'm looking, and he pointed at the sign, and so Shinwar heard me talking to the guy. He's like, "Oh yeah, 12 o'clock, this and that." I'm like, all right. When I walked out, there was two guys who had already spoken to this gentleman, and I'm like, this is not gonna end well. I knew it right then and there, So they might have been on their phones trying to order or do something. I was working remote. I should have just stayed in the Walmart at the McDonald's or whatever, did my stuff, and then try to get, on my network there, and then just walk right over and pick it up. Because there's no way. Me and Shinwar, 11:54 a.m. waiting, refreshed, sold out. Sold out. Now the way Repop does it for ComicCon, I like that because once you get in line, you have your privy, you have access to getting your stuff. You know what I'm saying? So for whatever reason, this was handled that way. And Shin, how many Xboxes were allocated to certain GameStops in certain stores? Like it was an insulting amount. What,
yeah,
3?
I mean, some shops would get like 3, 5, and you got to think about it. You have the Series X and the Series S. Some shops were getting for the Series S only one, and we know a certain mom and pop store said they are not selling the digital version of the console.
Oh, they're like, so, you're not gonna take this work? You're not gonna take this work? What?
Well, let me reiterate that. They said they will not because they haven't received any. So it's like right now, it's only the major retailers that are getting the consoles. Yeah. And then, hold on. And just to point out, oh man, I wish the Microsoft store was still in Bridgewater.
Yes. Shout out to our boy Francis, man. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Shin and I wouldn't have struggled because we have a good relationship, or we had a good relationship when the Microsoft store was open, and running tournaments there, thing of the past. It's just now with the Microsoft stores closed due to COVID, it's going to be extremely difficult between now and the holiday season to get that system. Now, here's my question. This is Juggernaut, Salty Alex talking. Why is it that this system is so being bought up like hotcakes, and a lot of people are out of work? Y'all gotta get your priorities straight, man. Like, there's just no way that. How many systems were allocated, Shin? Like what, 19 million or something like that?
Well, I don't know total number, but I just know like individual stores, they were getting like 3, 4, 6.
I guess manufacturing was hit. So I'm just because I'm hearing rumors that, take this with a grain of salt, there's still consoles sitting in warehouses. I guess they're trickling them out. Now
probably preparing for the next wave. Black Friday too. Don't forget Black Friday.
And then you got Cyber Monday, Also,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you guys this: you enablers of the scalpers are why they do it. You know, I almost caved in today because there was a guy on a Facebook Marketplace that he was
Mm-hmm.
selling a Series X for 750. Now I told Shin I'm not paying 750 for that. No,
Yeah.
I told him I can give him 550 because when you look at taxes and all that,
Yep.
what
Yep.
would I would have got like for a game, would have gone to that. I told the guy I can go after work. The most I would have done was 600.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, no, not a penny more. He didn't respond, and I sent a screenshot to Shinwar, and I'm like, okay. All of a sudden, that thing is sold. I'm like, you see, you guys are why the scalpers do this. Don't buy this stuff. Don't buy it. Project Justice in the Discord was saying the same thing. If we are vigilant to not entertain these people and not give them a platform and not get caught in the FOMO or fear of missing out, you know, then they're pretty much gonna buy a system and get stuck with it because
Mm-hmm.
90% of these scalpers don't give a damn about gaming. They don't give a damn about you or anybody. They just want to lace their pockets, you know. So don't entertain the scalpers. You know what I mean? Like, uh, things
Well,
like ComicCon. I get it because that's like, oh, an event. Some people are gonna try to get in because it's a once a year thing. The console will be available to the masses at some point. But Shin, you were gonna say something.
yeah, like I told you earlier, it's across like the sneakerheads, like you said, Comic Con or just concert tickets in general.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the comic book collecting game, when when a new variant may drop that's real hot, and in this case, we're talking about the consoles. The scalpers come out with their bots and they're
Mm-hmm.
ready. I mean, it just takes them a matter of seconds,
And this is why
to check out.
leaving things to online. You're hurting the market because people who have access to bots versus to those who don't have, it's like it's wrong because those scalpers are getting 3, 4, and 5 systems at a time. You know what I mean? And it's not right. But I didn't mean to interrupt. Continue, Shin. Uh, Hello.
Yeah, hold on.
All right. Yeah. So while Shin is getting his audio squared away, again, these folks doing that. Like my thing is, why do you guys do it? It's like there's no need for that. Like there's some people who really want to just enjoy, pick things up, and just go about their business. You know, if scalping is just your thing, and people look. I was talking about to Shin earlier about when you go to motor vehicles or you're purchasing a house or trying to sell a house and upgrade a house. There's certain things you get like they have limitations on what you can and can't do. For instance, a house, you're doing upgrades and so on and so forth. You have to pay the appropriate taxes on the face value of that house. You know, and then if you're trying to turn around and sell and so on and so forth, like hey, you buy a house for 170,000, then you're trying to flip it for like 450,000 or whatever. A lot of times they're gonna stay on the market until you lower the price or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just those
Yeah,
scalpers
yeah,
don't realize that you're just perpetuating a negative culture, and why I say there's just some evil people in the world. There was no need for all this. Now for the PlayStation guys who are like, oh, look at what happened with Xbox. It's gonna be worse for you guys. It's gonna be worse because I tried to get on a pre-order for both. I failed miserably, miserably. I got a little closer with the on Walmart because they had one system in Kearney, New Jersey, right?
mm,
And just as I was going to pay, and I'm on the phone with Shin, it was like, okay, add to cart. As I was putting my security code, out of stock. So that means while I was putting that, there was a bot going in there, banging the system, knocking me out, and I couldn't get it. I would have drove up to Kearney to get it, but
what?
yeah, it was just ridiculous how if you leave it to online, this is always going to be a problem. So luckily, I can be patient. Yeah, I'm a little bummed out that I couldn't do new content for that reason. But Shin, you can back me up. There were some YouTubers who didn't get review systems, but were trying to purchase that didn't get a Series
Yeah,
X.
yeah, 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 yeah. On IGN, I know the one guy was saying that he wasn't able to pre-order or get it, So it's across the board.
Mm-hmm.
I think my thing is, so for example, like Walmart tomorrow, they're gonna have four separate times for the PlayStation 5.
Get those
Now,
bots ready.
the
It's
the
about to get hot.
yeah, but the Series X only had 12 o'clock. So it's like, they should have had more different times allotted for
Mm-hmm.
people to buy.
This is
So
true.
it's like all of a sudden you guys can't meet the demand. And I'm like, was it like this in 2013 when the PS4 and Xbox One came out?
Well, I wasn't here. I was in Afghanistan when those came out, and then
I mean, mhm,
and you know what's crazy? Me as a soldier, when I'm in the middle of Baghdad and the PX that we had on base at the FOB, when the stocks came in, I walked right up,
mhm.
picked up my Xbox One. A few weeks later, PS4, and that's what's still sitting here. Walked right
Yeah,
in.
yeah, I remember I pre-ordered my Xbox One from Best Buy.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-ordered it, and then I camped out, and I'm like, why am I camping out if I pre-ordered it? But nonetheless, I got it, and then the PS4, I think I got like months later.
Mm-hmm.
I got
Mm-hmm.
it months later. But yeah, you were able to do that, but now it's COVID shut a lot of stuff down, and they're online, 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 online. So it's like, all right.
So and
So
unfortunately, these launched during the COVID, you know, time. This is unique, given the circumstance. I hope that in the future, I mean, I'm not even thinking of next gen after that, but there has to be a way to stem this nonsense. Let me direct your attention to eBay right now. So those of you watching the stream, look at that first entry, $1,400. That the markup. Now, you see, again, me. This is just my opinion. I would be like, all right, if it was like Walmart or something or whatever, I'd be like, okay, come with like a SWAT team and like, oh, you want to scalp, you want to rip people off or whatever, click click. They should have some sort of restriction for the first 90 days that a system is released, so and you won't see stuff like this. You know what I mean? Because it just it's bad practice. I don't know why people are capitalizing on that. Because at the end of the day, yeah, you're doing this. You're ruining the whole experience. Like the RTX 3090, that's ridiculous. I saw
yeah,
somebody like $8,000, $10,000. Like really, really. They
that's what
go
it is.
into yeah that make no sense, no sense. But yeah, Shin, you were gonna
So
say something.
yeah, I'm looking on the sold listings. The highest amount that the Series X has sold for was today
Mm-hmm.
at 408 for $1,225.
What?
So it
What?
looks like it's averaging between, what's the lowest? The lowest I've seen was 679, and the highest outside of that 1225
Mm-hmm.
is 920.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let me
Yeah,
respond
so
to
it's
Slinky Jim. So
sure.
limiting sales will fix that. That's the thing. They did do limited sales. The problem was the resellers are the ones who are screwing things up. You know what I mean? So, mm, yeah, that's a tough one to, tough pill to swallow. Pause. I mean,
Huh?
yeah, they did limited sales. Like we were talking about this earlier, where there were limited systems going out. So Shin, 1,200 was the highest sold, and six something.
That Yeah, 667. But it looks like it's averaging between 750 and 850, going all the way up to like 900. That's
Yeah.
the average.
Well, SLinky Gym made a good point. Limit per person. We were saying this. Like Comic Con, when you go to order or when you're trying to get like a pass, right? What
Hmm.
was it like four at a time or three? Yeah, like four at a time you can get. Then you have to go back in line and then wait for everybody else to at least get once, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
With this, it should have been one per. Hey, you ordering this? Bam.
I think
Because
they did do that. I think they did do that
then
though.
how are they getting in multiple times before somebody? It's like you're trying to throw one punch and then they're already throwing like 48 jabs before you land the one punch.
Think
So
about it. If you have what, three scalpers that uses bots,
yeah,
they're killing it, man. The bot is doing all the work while
no,
everybody else is inputting, information in manually.
yeah. All right, go Swan.
That's crazy.
What's going on, cuz? We got some live folks on the stream. Thank you guys for checking things out. Me and Shinwar are discussing the fiasco that is online pre-ordering. You know what? Let me ask something. Why don't they allow us to go and pre-order in the store?
Because of COVID.
No, but I'm like, hey, the stores are open though. The stores are open.
Yeah,
That makes
but no, no,
it
no, no. I'm
defeats the
about to say no.
purpose. Like, let me
It's
go
because
in and
they
say, hey, look, I want to pre-order, do the 6 feet distance, and call it a day. Take like,
because they know how the lines are, and they don't want to have that for because of COVID. They know that they're gonna have a mass rush of people lining up. They don't want that.
but you see, the Walmart that I deal with, when they were doing the lines for COVID, I think it's a cop out. It's an excuse. They can manage that. They can manage that. It's just so. You mean to tell me Black Friday they'll be okay with that?
Right, right, right.
But
Yeah, you're
you
right.
you you can't control how the flow of traffic, and when you're done, you're done. You know what I mean? Like, heck, yeah, I know people stay out all night. Remember the one video you sent me, Shin? The dude was like prior to midnight the night before, and he was
Yeah.
able to get his system. Okay, I get it. But in these times, it depends on which store is doing what. Somebody wanted to get the sale, whatever. Hey, it is what it is. But
Yeah, but the thing is the scalpers. This is where they make their money because they know it's sold out because they took it all, and now they resell it with a ridiculous
now
markup.
on Facebook, there was a guy. He had three of them. Each of
Mm.
them, he had them selling for $1,100 each.
Huh?
Yeah, each. Matter of fact, I should go and pull it up. But you see, I think when I do the browser within XSplit, it makes me log in again, and I don't want to do that right now.
I
But
was like, why does he need three? Come on.
he bought three to flip it.
But let's talk about this. Let's shift gears here. He bought three at what price? At the all access price?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up.
Mm-hmm.
New Gaming Order and Geek-n-out fans, I will have you know there are Mitches out there. Major Mitches. What they're using is they're getting the Xbox All Access, right? Between the S and the X. What they're doing is they're getting the line of credit, no money down, right? You put the first payment, and then, matter of fact, what they should do to help quell that is take a deposit. But the reason that they don't do it, they want to stretch out the life of the Game Pass that they're going to hook you in
Mm-hmm.
for the 2 years. Okay? So, we have people who are abusing all access. Now, the scalper probably is only paying $45 and it's $25 for the Series S, if I'm not mistaken. And with that, they're only making that first payment. They're turning around and selling it on eBay, Facebook, OfferUp,
Mm.
all that stuff, right? Then they don't pay, right? You're the silly sap that goes and buys this system, and you don't own it. And what happens if you don't pay? Now
Right.
Microsoft, now with these new gen consoles, they possibly can brick your system.
Yep.
That's one theory, right? Not saying they will.
Nothing,
That's
nothing possible about it. They already did.
oh, what the heck is this? Oh,
I don't know.
wow, unbelievable!
Hello, gentlemen.
You know what? This is like WWE. Here comes on your knees with a steel chair, and then the crowd goes crazy and all that good stuff. I'll give you a chance to spotlight in a second, but as far as that goes, we are in a time where these people are abusing all access. They're gonna make the first payment, take the system, sell it for like 1,200. Like I saw the highest was $2,000, right? Then you get stuck. Like I hope Microsoft allows it so that whoever did acquire the system can pay off the balance. You know what I mean? But then they be hit twice because let's say in the worst case scenario they paid the $2,000, then have to pay the difference that the scalper had stiffed them for.
Yeah.
So some excuse me. Oh man, I feel like too good. No, I'll be fine. It's not COVID or anything, but yeah, we just some wicked people out there. And I'm pretty sure to give Onion Knees a chance to speak. We were talking about the RTX 3090 and how in some places I don't know how true this was, but there was a screenshot somewhere where somebody was selling it for $70,000. I'm like, that's ridiculous. I think they were putting 100 on 10 with that one, or it's photoshopped. But yeah, these people go into Newegg, they go into all these computer warehouse sites, and they freaking buy everything up, and then they're tripling, quadrupling the prices, and that doesn't make sense to me. It's just like not cool. What's wrong with you people? But on your knees, your thoughts, because you came in kind of late. Probably be wrapping up soon.
4 words: personal computer master race. That's all.
This is not about master race, and right now,
I'm sorry.
and right now, I think with the 3090 and a good.
Oh, the Navi comes out next week.
Well, hey,
Yeah, the first ones, the lower end ones come out next week. The rest come out in December.
Well, they're gonna get DDoS 2. They're gonna get botted and all that stuff. So
I don't know about DDoS, but no YouTube videos are loading for me. So I'm like, ugh. I checked out Twitch and I saw you were online. That's why I'm in here.
Oh, you know what? Where's the ban button? How do I eject people? No,
Wow.
Harsh.
But I will say this. These are the times we live in. These are the type of people that are out there. They wanted to ruin the fun for the RTX 3090. They ruined the fun for the Series X. And they're going to do it for the PlayStation 5. When is it? Tomorrow, Shin?
Yeah, tomorrow. Yep. Official release date.
I bet you the bots are sitting right now as we speak, as this is live. Freaking, on Veterans Day. I'm telling you.
There are tips and tricks you can do, but since the unit's already sold, I don't think it's going to help them much.
Well, I mean, hey, feel free to share because this ain't monetized no more. It is what it is.
They were on the websites before the actual sell date. When they could buy them. Mm-hmm. So he actually preloaded his cart before the date. This way, his cart was ready to go. And then, this way he didn't have to go do everything in the cart. He was ready to go at midnight and then clicked a few buttons to do everything.
You see, that's not fair, bro. That's exactly what I'm talking about. With ComicCon, same thing. But you see, the problem is with ComicCon, actually, Repop controls that. So it's their website. It is what it is. With this, you got Walmart, you got Target, you got Best Buy, you got all these, Xbox.com. Got all these places that you can't unless you unify them or just go through Microsoft or Xbox.com and just say, hey, we'll send it to the store of your choosing. Then that's another thing. But it's just too many different vendors, too many folks out there, and then the mom and pop shops, Chris, didn't even get any. They didn't even get any.
Don't surprise me.
Yeah.
You know, but a certain store which will remain nameless isn't gonna sell any digital versions of these consoles because it hurts their business model. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but eventually, this is probably the last gen that's going to carry a disc drive. I think by the
Nah.
time,
Nope. I don't think that's gonna happen.
look, but the next gen is going to start pushing it. What's going to happen? The majority, like, okay, you have the digital ones that are the minority in production. It's going to be the other way around. You'll still have the disc systems, but there won't be like the thing of the masses. Everything's gonna go streaming based, bro. Watch, especially with S Cloud.
Back together.
It won't.
You know what? You know what? And you guys are just jumping in all late. So we got my cousin over here, Mr. PlayStation fan extraordinaire, Mr.
Sony
Garvin.
All day, man. Sony all day.
You guys are joining in late, but you know we had a good show. But yeah, we were talking about the scalping. What happened with the 3090? What happened with this?
I got the 3090. You guys got to join the group. You got to join the group. You got to find the group. This new wave of scalping has prompted a bunch of Discord channels that are doing monitoring, and there are plenty out there. Some of them you got to pay for, but I got to tell you, I got a 3090. Mm-hmm. Spencer got a 5800X. The CPU. We just got it delivered yesterday. He got a Founders Edition card, 3090. And so like the stuff is, you can get it, you can kind of beat the scalpers, right? Like not beat them, but it's almost like when Best Buy is having big drops. It's so interesting. Like I've been in some of these rooms and when I got my 3090, like Best Buy dropped, like I could tell you this week, like I'm looking in the room right now and I can see like Best Buy today alone dropped literally almost 20 times today. For 3070s, for 3080s, for 3090s. And so when these things are dropping, now people can actually click some of these links inside of some of these channels and have an opportunity to purchase. And so it is helping, right? The scalpers are still winning. But you have to remember, like the scalpers have to invest a lot of money to make that work, right? They have to either be a programmer already, right, and have a model that they're using. They're using, some type of paid monitor or proxies. Like people are paying for proxies.
But cousin, let me say this: they're investing to do something that's ruining the experience for somebody else. I have no sympathy for them.
But no, right? So listen. I'm not expecting you to have sympathy. All I'm saying is that they're playing the game. It's not their fault.
It's a choice they're making to do that.
Right. But it's their choice. And it's also the choice of the buyer that's willing to pay the premium to not deal with being in line and buying or whatever. Like, there are services now where people who have a lot of money are paying even more money to send people to stores to wait in line to get the thing for them.
Yeah, we were talking about that before.
Yeah.
Like,
So like you gotta. It's one of those things. So I could have been I could tell you right now, in the past week, I've had the 3090 in my cart maybe 20 times just to test and be playing around to see what I can do. And I haven't clicked the button to get the card to scalp to sell because I felt bad. Like I'm going into Reddit forums to see people like, oh, I'm really bummed out. I can't get a card. Like, what were you doing yesterday? You were playing your games just fine. You don't get the 3090, you'll be okay. I think people need to understand that at the end of the day, you'll eventually get it.
Absolutely.
If we weren't going through the pandemic, right? If we weren't going through the pandemic, there would be a better supply of things, and which would reduce that. What I'm seeing, it looks like all the hype beasts have moved on from sneakers right now, and they're like, oh look, man, these people are clamoring for these CPUs and GPUs. I'm never going to use it, but I can sure make double or triple the money on it, and people are paying it. And I think people need to get a better gauge or be more informed or do more research before they're even paying overpriced. Like, you should only pay. I think the max anyone should go over retail for a new release item that's expected to be in stock for 6 months, 20%.
I agree. I agree.
I think anybody I think people should have that standard for themselves. Again, it's their money, right? But they should have a standard that says, something is only worth $5.99, and if I'm gonna pay over, maybe I shouldn't pay more than $200 or $250 over what that thing.
Now, to that point, because what I was saying, there are people who are enabling the scalpers. If you don't pay them, they're just gonna be like, "Damn, I wasted all this money trying to scam people or scam the system." You know what I mean? So
yeah, I think what people realize after they get the thing, and even for this one, I find, councils are usually like, this is always a thing with councils, right? But you got people that's more coordinated. People have to physically go to stores, but you can't do that. So you're forced to do the online thing. And so it's a different battle. I feel like if the stores were still stocking some of this stuff, there would be more of an opportunity for more people to get things during the release. And I think that's the one part of it that's pretty unfortunate. But I mean, it is what it is, right? And like, we're in this time. It's a weird time. But these councils now, what I'm looking at, there's not a lot of release titles.
Considering everything. It came down to, a lot of the studios were affected by the pandemic. Most of them were working remotely. So, I mean, it's just a rough time.
There's not a lot of releases, right? So, like, if you just wait till January, February, there'll be plenty of stocking. No one would have to worry about the scalpers.
Yeah. Now, I'm responding to the chat. Mighty says, no fighting games at launch. Remember, Shinwar was saying that, like, there's no fighting games at launch.
Not even even for the Xbox Series X, no KI 2 or no KI, something.
They lost the developer. They got bought by Amazon.
But you get what I'm saying, though, right?
No, but you see that with that wasn't in their control. Yeah. Iron Galaxy got bought, by Amazon, because Amazon's trying to jump into the game streaming, and trying to mount an offensive against Stadia, and that's a whole other discussion for another time.
Oh yeah, that's a future battle. That's like the next phase, next gen.
Yeah. So with that being said, SLinky Gym, I want to thank you guys for jumping in, Ghost One, Mighty, so on and so forth. But in closing, on your knees, I'm gonna go around the table. I'll do on your knees, Garvin, and then Shinwar to close up. But your thoughts, just summary on the topics we discussed today. Chris, are you there? I guess we lost Chris.
No, I'm here. I forgot I was muted. I saw my thing going off.
You pooed it. Oh my goodness.
I missed you, Chris.
Yeah, what's up?
Buddy, man. Miss you.
Avengers Assemble. What? All right. Yeah. So we're
Bob.
Yeah, we're doing our wrap up. But your thoughts on these scalpers, man?
It's a shitty situation. Until Microsoft gets a shit ton of complaints about bricking people's consoles because they didn't know that the scalpers didn't pay off the box when they sold it.
We don't know if they will do that. We know they have the capability of doing that, like they did to the guy who broke the NDA, but that's a whole other topic over there.
Well, but we know they can do it now because they did it to the guy and they confirmed they did. So yeah, I didn't even know that they had this layaway program where they just give them the console for $20 and
they started that with the One X actually. Yeah, it was kind of like a trial thing.
They're going to cause all sorts of problems with that. So that's going to be a bag of shit in a month or two. So we'll see what happens.
Alrighty, Garvin, your final thoughts on this, and then we'll wrap up with Geek-n-out.
Okay, for everyone out there, okay, it is a terrible time in gaming. Okay, even in the computer world, but it is a pandemic. Just take it easy. The stuff will come in stock. Yeah. And if you want to get the stuff, just wait. It's not worth the premium. Don't kill your wallets or bill your credit cards for things that once you get it, you will not be happy. I promise you. When I got my 3090, I got it for regular price, right? But I got it, and I'm like, this was great, but it's not making me any happier. So, but the hype, like, don't fall into the hype. The hype is real, and some of the stuff is cool, but you could wait just a little bit because it's not worth paying over.
Yeah,
but
well, indeed.
For those who have it, if you want to pay the over, go for it. But I would say that if you really, really want to play something, I would say that if you're not making money off of it, if you're not spending the premium over to make more money, right? If you're not like a famous YouTuber or something like that, just wait. Just wait. If your day job requires you to have a PS5, then yes, you got to pay over because that's what's making you money. But if it's not making you any money, just wait.
Yeah,
it's gonna come.
Even the IGN guys, some of them didn't get it, But with that,
and they're just gonna wait. Just be patient. Your life's not over. Just take it easy.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make memes and jokes and stuff and how salty I am because I gotta make fun of myself,
We'll see what we can do.
No problem. Because hey, that's how we do. Family, we take care of one another. And Shinwar, like my tag team partner, let's bring this home. Your final thoughts on this whole fiasco.
Final thoughts on it is if you're able to get a console, I say go for it. I agree with Garvin. Don't go crazy spending all this amounts of money. There are other things that are, in priority that, should take place. And this is coming from a person that, that I got both consoles, but it's like at the end of the day, the games, like there's really no, I don't want to say there's no games out right now. There's a very small selection. We're not going to start seeing the heavy hitters until probably end of next year.
And I don't know about end. I would say like summer at least.
Well, that's what I said. Mid to end of next year. That's when the heavy hitters are really coming. But personally, I feel like these next gen consoles could have been released next year.
I agree.
I don't feel like they had to be released right now, but it is what it is. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I'm looking forward to diving in, into the different games and genres. So. That's all. But and just in regards to the scalper thing, I don't think it's ever going away. People have found ways around it. But it's all about the buyer. The buyer dictates, like, okay, you know what? Are you going to have the FOMO, fear of missing out? And just like Garvin said, if you can wait, then it's going to be you're going to win in the end.
Yeah, don't let the scalpers win. Don't cave in, And those who are buying the systems for $1,500, $2,000, man. And I think on my lunch break when me and Shinwar were talking about this, like you got like the little kid's mom who is out there, trying to be a good parent in the sense that, oh, my kid did well in school, I'm gonna reward them, so on and so forth. I mean, those are the ones I feel bad for because they're going to pay this stuff unbeknownst to them that, oh, they got ripped off. You know what I mean? And it's just, I just believe in integrity. Maybe it's that army programming or whatnot. Like, I wouldn't do it to somebody. It's not for me, But with that being said, I do want to thank the guys, the band, for jumping in because initially it started with me and Shinwar, then Garvin and On Your Knees jumped in. Felt like old times, Yeah,
I apologize for abruptly jumping in.
No, but you did it with taste, unlike Shin Takuma, who used to be like, "What'd he do? What'd he do?" I'm like, "What the heck is it? Party crashing?" Yeah, I had to give him a shout out on Veterans Day and all that good stuff. But no, I mean, you come in, stuff wise, like On Your Knees did, and we're good. I'm always trying to make sure people are included. With that, SLinky Gym, they are idiots for buying this stuff at that price. Even if
technology simps,
wow, techno simps. I'm done. All right, with that, I am gonna bring the show to a close. I want to thank everybody for watching. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. This is gonna get a little more raw like it used to be since YouTube is demonetizing and hitting me left and right for just doing gameplay videos. I can't do nothing. Might as well play the game muted for all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, goodness gracious.
You should just flex for an hour in a video. See how well that does.
Man, if I was a gamer girl, I'd be making all kinds of money. They were like, take my money.
Get a voice changer to VTubing.
Look, this is not. Oh my god, I'm getting the heck off this thing. I want to thank everybody for participating, and a big shout out to Geeking Out for bringing the idea to do this. Now I'm reinvigorated to get on a regular schedule, or as news pops up. So if anybody has topics that they want to send to us, I might even start a different Discord to talk to you guys in terms of, hey, tell us what topics to cover. We go from there. So we're geeking out. New Gaming Order. The staff. The man, the myth, the juggernaut. We out. See y'all later. Peace.